folks. You guys did a great job. Now let me start out by saying that nothing easy about mining, especially in this country because of our geology and the terrain. We do things a little bit differently. A lot of miners nowadays are heavy equipment operators. We're a little bit more hands-on in this country. Now naturally in the early days it was entirely manual labor. The only heavy equipment we had underground were burros. And start to finish it was all manual. The early miners only got paid about $3 or $4 a day. $1 of that went to the boarding house. Later on you got an hourly wage, and if you're lucky you might have got hourly wage plus contract JIPO pay. JIPO is however much footage you drive, the cubic tons you break. And we always called it JIPO because usually the company geologist or engineer always had a short tape when they measured, or the calculations for our cubic tons came out a little different. We usually had a lot of lively discussions on payday about what the contract was. But that's all right, because sometimes they show up without a helper. Somebody's got to hold the dumb end of the tape. I'd be back there, I'm overqualified, and I'd be back there with the tape doing this. Yeah, I'm at the face now, so sometimes they got to win, sometimes I got to win. Now, in a working mine, there's very few permanently lit places like this station. But whatever type of light you have is your only light source underground. You're going to be working where the ventilation probably isn't good. You're working at high altitude. The ground isn't smooth like this. It's all broken rock. And I guarantee you every single thing in this mine is very, very hard, and it's very, very heavy. You are the softest thing in this mine. Comforting, I know. You want to bear that in mind for yourself and your partner. We usually work in pairs. And in my personal experience, there's no specialized team that comes in and does a certain task and goes away. Start to finish, me and my partner do the whole deal. We take the equipment in, set it up, drill it out, load it, blast it, move the rock. You're going to try and do that 2 times a day if everything's clicking just right. Now the common question is, how do they find it? Where do they start digging? Well, in the early days you had to visually, with the naked eye, identify certain types of rock, certain types of structure. What they'd look for in the early days up above, they'd look for that. Quartz, basically the mother of gold in the San Juans, grayish rock is the galena, and all of our veins at various concentrations contain gold, silver, lead, zinc, and copper. So we're going to mine everything, and we'll leave it up to the mills to separate all the metals. Now, there's 2 basic methods in mining. First off, if it's worth pursuing, because everything's frozen in the rock, got to drill it, blast it out. We'll go horizontally, and because the vein doesn't run straight through, this is called drifting, not tunneling. So whichever way that vein goes, we follow it. Second method we like to use is it was formed millions of years ago geothermally, superheated water rising to the surface with all the minerals suspended in it. And so now we're going to stope it. We usually find our higher ore values up above. So we're going to drill the back of this out, load it up, shoot it down, following that vein upward almost to the surface, sometimes to the surface. And this is called stoping. And it's easier, much easier to let the rock fall down than to have to haul it up. Gravity doesn't cost us a penny, and we really like that. And it can be our best friend, as we all very well know, it can be our worst enemy. At this point, I'm going to mention one thing. Once we're underground, there are no child labor laws. or as I like to say, worky worky or walkie walkie. You know it's dark back there, and I'm almost the only guy with a light here. Okay, let's go make some noise, folks, right this way.
Just like people that have faults.
Yeah, you tall folks, keep the vertically challenged in mind. Make sure everybody can see well. Okay, now in the early days, dig holes in the rock. And the way they accomplished this, our early explosives weren't very good, very unpredictable. It was a while before we got dynamite. The way we're going to drill, get a 4-pound hammer, a single jack, a hand steel. You're going to drill this way or this way. Blacksmith's going to keep that sharp and tempered for us. It's got a chisel tip on it, so as you're drilling, you've got to rotate the steel. Keep the hole round, keep from sticking the steel. Stuck steel's no fun, plus your boss is going to tell you it costs money, and then your paycheck will reflect that if you lose it. Okay, now that's not going to give you much depth. So what you do, get yourself bigger steel, bigger hammer. 8-pound double jack. Now one of us is going to jack the steel while the other one shakes the steel, holding it steady and turning it round and round. You want to be good at this. If you don't hit the steel right, probably only one other thing you will hit. You want to shake the steel? Watch this handle. Careful. Okay, grab it. Now get down a little lower. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3! I usually get better air out of my kids.
You should get a 3-year-old if you want to.
That was a good job. Bravo, young man. What? We really don't have time. Real quick, if you hurry up. Hurry up. Okay. Give me this. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right, later on, mechanical drills. Early ones were steam powered. Those didn't work out very well. Machines were way too hot. Lines would blow up. So we used steam power to drive big air compressors. Now we use compressed air to run our equipment. And we pipe it in from big air compressors. Now the early ones just hammered the rock. You still had to rotate the steel. Later on, rotary hammer drills. And the early ones drilled dry, made a lot of dust. Didn't take them very long to figure out. Miners were getting rocked up, miners' cons, silicosis. It is to a hard rock miner what black lung is to a coal miner. Graveyards in Silverton are full of a lot of guys that didn't make 30 years old. Now, later on, a gentleman named Liner invents water injection for our equipment, revolutionizing mining. Hook water into our machines, little water needle, small hole in that steel that Liner invents, shoots water out the tip of the drill steel, eliminating about 90% of your dust, keeps the hole clean, steel cool. This is a column drill from the 30s, weighs about a little over 400 pounds. I'll put